Isometric 6. I've already created the block that we're going to use to do the subtractive method to remove things from, but let's take a look at isometric 6. So it's a little bit difficult to figure out what this object is from this isometric, but basically what it is a block with a hole drilled through it and a diagonal that's been extruded in the negative direction. Kind of looks three-dimensional, like something sticking out, but this is actually a hole. So we've started with the block, and it's important that we next draw the hole and then do the diagonal section. So taking a look at this hole or circle, here would be my center point, and I could see I would have a radius of 1/2 inch, a diameter of 1 inch. I can also see from the center of that circle, we are 1 inch from the left edge and 3/4 of an inch from the top. Okay, so we'll be creating a 1 inch diameter circle, 1 inch from the left, 3/4 of an inch from the top. So we'll create a sketch on the face of the extrusion, and let's zoom in because we're going to create a circle roughly here. Click it and enter the diameter. So we know the diameter is 1. We also know that from the center of the circle to the edge was 1 inch. And from the edge to the center of the circle, let's try that again, escape, let's move that over. And from the edge to the center of the circle, that should be 0.75, 0.75. Okay, at this point, I have my circle drawn, and if you think you know what you need to do, you can continue without watching the video. If you mess up, you can always come back to the video. But now let's continue. So we're going to extrude away that circle. So we're going to remove it all the way through, and this is what we're going to remove. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to draw a diagonal. And you'll see this diagonal is on the front face. It is 3/4 of an inch from the left. It goes down, it touches the bottom, and it's 1/2 inch from the right. So let's create a sketch on this face. Okay, so we're going to create a sketch on this front plane, and we're going to create a line for our diagonal, making sure we start on the top line, we hit the bottom line, and we create the rest of the shape so that we have something to extrude later. I'm going to hit the escape key. We don't care the length of that diagonal, but we do care where the diagonal starts and where the diagonal ends. So we'll use the dimensioning tool to make sure that this is dimensioned at 3/4 of an inch and that this is dimensioned at 1/2 inch. Okay, so our last piece of the puzzle is we're going to remove part of this shape, but we're not going to extrude all the way through the object. Instead, we're going to extrude back 1/2 inch. So we'll choose the extrusion tool. We're saying that we're going 1/2 inch in the backwards direction, and this is the face. And there you go. There's your ISO 6.